Hello, my royal lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. You join me today outside because it is Scorchio today, and I cannot sit inside and let this lovely, beautiful day pass. So you join me in the garden with the roses behind. Right, so what I wanted to talk about today, now I didn't really want to talk about Harry and Meghan at all. It's such a beautiful day. Why on earth should we spoil it with them? But there has been talk, and I just kind of it made me think about how Harry and Meghan have had so many different ventures over the last couple of years, and actually what has worked and what hasn't. So we need to ask the question, and other people have been asking it too. What's happened to Meghan's jam? Where is it? I mean, I think Archie and Lily and Harry and Meghan have been stamping away with their feet all those strawberries and lemons and goodness knows what else in a big bathtub, or maybe Lily's paddling pool, and they've been stomping away, squishing it. Sussex feet have been squashing everything. Maybe they've run out of toes. I don't know. So as the Sussexes focus on another new initiative, um, what's happened to American Riviera Orchard 40/40 and the Archetypes podcast have all gone on the wayside and they've all struggled to take off. So let's just take a look. Um, the first one, American Riviera Orchard, that seemed very curious to me as to why she decided to launch that when there wasn't actually a product to launch. It does seem very curious, doesn't it, my loves? Why would you do that? Is it to tease people, or rather to warn people that something is imminently on the way? Except it wasn't imminently on the way, was it? It's just gone completely by the wayside. Now we think that what she's going to do is coincide it with the launch of Netflix. So perhaps those jars with the peeling labels, you know, number 1 of 50 and all the rest of it, sent to her celebrity and social media friends. Um, Maybe that was just a test batch. I don't know. I mean, nothing's been approved. All the list of ingredients wasn't there. It's not been. Is it the FDA in the US? It's not been FDA approved. So at the moment, it's just looking like a pipe dream. It just looks like a little kitchen endeavour. As I said, I've got visions of all of the Sussexes standing in a paddling pool, one of the kiddies' paddling pools, and there they are, stomping away, hands, foot squishing all of the jam. Anyway, oh, by the way, I have got sun cream on, factor 50 all the way. Protect yourself in the suns, my loves. So, American Riviera Orchard, I think, will launch round about the same time as Netflix. Remember, Meghan is trying to turn Netflix into an infomercial, a bit like QVC, only for her wares. And there's talk that she may be trying to launch a primary product of a bottle of wine or something of that nature. And there's even talk, because I know there was a lot of criticism saying that nobody would pay inflated prices for her stuff. So apparently she's aiming for a more affordable price point. I mean, I think the bargain bin is a little bit more her level, don't you think? So all is quiet on the American Riviera Orchard. It's still a word salad mouthful, isn't it, my lovies? Anyway, Lemonada, the podcast. Let's do Spotify. So Spotify flopped. I mean, they made a Christmas special when they first signed up, where Harry walked in and blah blah blah. And then, of course, we heard nothing. It was silence. It was tumbleweeds for years. And then finally, she got around to making a series. All of her celebrity friends joined in. It was quite sick-inducing and, well, vomit-inducing, wasn't it, my lovies? Anyway, that fell by the wayside. There was a big fanfare about how successful it was. It turned out it wasn't really that successful. Otherwise, why did Spotify drop them like a big hot potato? And then, obviously, executives came out saying how difficult they were to work with and calling them using rather unsavory terms to describe the working relationship with them. No ideas, talentless. You get the drift. You know where I'm at. Anyway, I was quite surprised when Lemonada Media, which I'd never even heard of, picked up the Archetypes podcast and has kind of repackaged it and relaunched it. And then there was talk that there was going to be another podcast, or rather a continuation of Archetypes. Don't know what form, or rather form of torture, she's going to inflict on us there. But apparently Lemonada must be absolutely seething because they have had to postpone the launch of whatever this is, this new podcast, until rumoured 2025 because of the deal that Meghan's done with Netflix, which will keep her supposedly busy during the rest of this year. No, actually, I don't even think this Lemonada media thing is going to get off the ground until at least 2026, if not actually being dropped before it even takes off. I'm just not convinced. And I think it really is bad business and bad PR to kind of have all of these clashes. You don't sort of sign up with something first and then sign up with something else, and then it clashes, and something doesn't want to overshadow something else. It's really, really bad management and PR. So I think Lemonada must be absolutely seething. I don't know what they've paid her, but whatever it was far too much, my loves. She needs paying in bottle tops or something of that nature. I don't know. And then there was this 40 times 40 project, where she sort of made a big, massive, fanfare, to publicise women's rights, I think it was. Where was it? Let's have a little peek. Um, Oh yeah, it was launched to coincide with her 40th birthday. To be honest, at the time, I didn't really pay much attention to it. Anyway, this 40 by 40 project where I think people were encouraged to donate their time. Um, we didn't hear much back from that, did we, my loves? That kind of fell by the wayside. I think that's turned into a massive flop. We've spoken about the Spotify deal. Pearl, the book Pearl. She's supposed to have this wonderful children's book, Pearl, and then it was supposed to be made into, some kind of Netflix drama. I think it was possibly something that she'd written that she wanted to turn into a TV series. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, that got. It was said that didn't fit with Netflix's output of what it wanted to put out. I just think they thought it was a complete load of nonsense, and were trying to be kind to her, and that's the sort of Sussex spin that I think they were trying to put out. Also, she has not made any other voiceover narratives to any to any wildlife programs. David Attenborough from the UK, Meghan most certainly is not. Do you all remember the sickening pool party? The elephants are in there having a pool party. My lovies, honestly, vomit inducing once more. So she's had many, 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 attempts at stardom, attempts at, you know, making money, all of which have flopped. The only thing that's really kind of made them a big amount of money is Harry's, latest harpooning of the royal family in his book Spare, which he threatened that there were 400 more pages still to go. Oh my goodness, spare us. Spare us those 400 pages. We really do not want to know. But it did make him a lot of money. And I think it just goes to show that that proves the level of interest in the royal family. So, of course, anyone that comes out with anything disparaging or revealing, even though we know that it's just a complete pack of lies, it's going to sell. But it has not done the Sussexes and Harry's overall PR any good, has it, my lovies? Absolutely not. We all have a very, very low opinion of Harry. He most definitely is not winning, despite what the Sussex squad tried to tell you. They are struggling and floundering. I always said 2024 would be the year where they try to set themselves up. 2025 is going to be the year of failure, and 2026 might be the year that Harry and Meghan realise what they've actually lost, and might try and attempt to come crawling back. I just hope that King Charles and William hold their nerve, hold their reserve, and give them the big heave ho when that time comes. Anyway, I just thought we'd talk through all the flops. I'm sure there's more. Let me know in the comment section if you remember any more flops. So, as the Sussexes, this is another story I'm reading from, which I'll give comment. As the Sussexes prepare for the latest quasi-royal tour, and it is, isn't it? It's just a quasi-royal tour. They're playing dress-up. They're playing make-believe. They want to desperately cling on to their royal credentials and have these royal tours, and they will go anywhere. If someone offers them, they would turn up at the opening of an envelope, my loves, wouldn't they? But the question is being asked, are they being used as political pawns by Colombia? Now, at the time I made comment on when this first came out, I wasn't really aware of the sort of political situation in Colombia. And now that I've read this, it kind of makes a little bit more sense, I should say. So the invitation was extended by Vice President Francia Marquez, the first black woman to hold that job. By the way, I'm struggling to read because of the sunlight and also sunglasses. So the faux royal duo will, according to Marquez, have the exceptional opportunity to engage with elders, youth and women who embody the aspirations and voices of Colombians and illuminate Colombia's role as a beacon of culture and innovation. I almost read the word illuminate as Illuminati. Just saying. Anyway, the trip will allow Meghan, who celebrated her 43rd birthday. I can't believe I share a birthday, August the 4th, with her last Sunday, to show off her fluent Spanish. Does she speak fluent Spanish? I mean, it's all tongues and word salad to me, which she learned at a private school in LA. Let's not forget Daddy paid for that one, and perfected at the US Embassy in Argentina. Well, we all wish she'd stayed over there, don't we? But anyway, her visit is being viewed little more than a cynical attempt by a failing left-wing government. This is what I didn't know. I didn't know that it was a failing left-wing government to use the glamorous couple as political pawns to divert attention from a series of scandals that have engulfed the regime. Well, I wasn't aware of all of this. So a prominent lawyer told, or spoke of, I'm sure that Meghan and Harry mean well. They want they want to be elevated on the world stage. They don't mean well for anything. But everyone here is talking about how obviously they are being manipulated. Of course, their star power will be used to bring attention to poor people. Well, we all know Meghan has an affiliation for the poor, don't we? She does lots for the poor. Anyway, areas of culture in Colombia. But the reality is the Colombian government have been drowning in scandal, a bit like Harry and Meghan. So I think they'll fit in quite nicely. Since it came in 2 years ago, they need something to appease people at home and make them look good abroad. Do they seriously think that Meghan is going to do that, and Harry? I don't think so. The only thing they could appease is a bowl of cornflakes in the morning. So anyway, Vice President Marquez's office yesterday said that the trip would begin on Thursday, but remain tight-lipped about specifics. And a spokesman said all but 3 events would be under the control of the Vice President's office, carefully selecting the images and video clips to be released to the public. Well, that's typical with Harry and Meghan. Carefully selected, carefully curated to give off whatever narrative they want. We all remember the photographer that was invited for Remembrance Sunday when they were walking through the graveyard. How disgusting can you get? So in Colombia, the Sussexes have chosen to visit one of the world's most dangerous hotspots, with both the UK and US governments warning travellers about terrorism, kidnapping, and high levels of street crime. Now, in the UK, we have been going through our own issues over the past couple of weeks, but this is typical for this region. What we are going through in the UK is completely atypical, is non-typical, and is blowing over, shall we say, and was sort of caused by one kind of incident. Anyway, Harry and Meghan have chosen to go to the world's most dangerous places: Nigeria, Colombia. Where's next on their tour of the most dangerous countries in the world? I hear it's nice this time of year in North Korea. Maybe they'll go there. I'm sure they would. It's very much giving me vibes of Wallace and Edward when they were invited by Adolf to go to Germany before everything completely kicked off. Anyway, they would go to the opening of an envelope, my lovies. So let me know in the comment section below what you think. I can feel my shoulder burning, so I'm going to go in now and apply some more Factor 50. I wish there was a Factor 50 or a cream that could be used to ward off Harry and Meghan. Let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed today's video as quick as it was, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and of course do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And let me know, did you enjoy the video from the garden? So from me, to you all, and goodbye.